Hi guys, Stephen Green here from the Property Investment Academy, and I'm shooting this series of new videos to give you some tips and tricks of what to do when you are going to view a property. So I've been buying properties now since actively as an investor since 2006. My portfolio is currently worth around about 6 million with the current project, which we've just about finished. And there's certain things you should be looking for when you are viewing a property. So not only am I a property investor, I've got construction background since I've left school, plumbing and roofing, and then I went in the army. I was a qualified joiner, and I also, after that, became a qualified electrician, 2391 inspection and test. So I've got all of these qualifications, and then later on in the construction company, I opened a damp proofing company, so I've got specialist qualifications in that as well. So I'm going to talk into each of these videos, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks of exactly what to look for. Welcome back to video number 4, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about structural cracks, so looking for that in a building. If you've got a rendered building, then you may have cracks in the render. Now, that's not always a bad thing, because it could be superficial, it could be on the outside, and it might just literally be that the render has expanded and shrunk and it's created a crack, and it might not actually mean there's anything wrong with the building. You could just tap that loose render away, and you could quite easily just do a repair job on that, which wouldn't cost a great deal at all. Now, if you've got a crack which is horizontal, so it's running across the brickwork, and you sometimes see those in steps around about every metre, sometimes every 600 mil, usually around about a metre, then what that might mean is you've got wall tie failure. And on older houses that were sort of built around about the 60s and older, what used to happen is the material they used to use on the wall tie, so what that means is a wall tie sits between your inner leaf and your outer leaf of brickwork, so that's what ties the brickwork in together. And the old wall ties, what used to happen is they used to get rusty and they would expand, and what that does when it expands, it pushes the brickwork and you end up with a crack literally running across the mortar bed, and you can see where those wall ties are. A way that we used to test for that was with a metal detector. So we would go along, if we've seen the cracks, we put the metal detector on, and we'll be able to see if there was wall ties within that area, and 99% of the time, if you're seeing cracks like that, then that's what it would be. The way to cure that is you can drill through the inner leaf, in the outer leaf, sorry, into the inner leaf by using heli-fixed bars to tie in those two leaves of brickwork. The old wall ties should be removed, or what you can do is you can neutralize them by putting a plastic cap over the top of them. So grinding out the mortar bed, you can put a plastic cap over the top of them, and that stops them from expanding. So that's it on horizontal cracks. What you might also see is sometimes from a window you will see cracks that kind of run down the mortar bed. Now, these can look actually worse than what they are. On a lot of occasions, this is just because the windows have been changed, and there's maybe not been a lintel above the window, or they've had a soldier course above the window, sometimes below the window, and when that moves, that can create cracks along the brickwork. Again, that's not really so much of a big concern. You can quite easily just grind those out and repoint them. One thing you want to be looking for, which is a bit more serious, is if you see a concrete lintel above the window and that concrete lintel has cracked. That will mean you will need to take out the lintel and put in a new lintel. So the cost starts to go up a little bit more. But again, for this, it's not a major job. You maybe looking at a couple of £100. If it's a pretty big window, it might cost you £500 to take some of the brickwork out, put a new lintel in and repoint it. So be aware of those particular types of cracks on external buildings. If you've got cracks, like I say, that are going horizontally, or you've got cracks around the windows or cracks in the render. So that's it for today's video. If you got value from that, please like it, please share it, please subscribe. That way you'll get future videos that I'm putting out. If you go in the descriptions below, you'll also see that there's free downloads to my book and other training that we do as well. So until the next video, I will see you then. Thank you, Steve.